It's the 1960s. The space race between the United States and the Soviet Union is at its peak, and the whole world is anxiously waiting to see who will be the first person on the moon. Suddenly, galloping in on a white horse, comes Edward Mukuka Nkoloso, boldly declaring that Zambia's technological capabilities surpass both the USA and the Soviets. He claims that his astronauts will not only set foot on the moon, but also on Mars. In 1964, Nkoloso confidently stated that after thorough telescope observations of Mars, he was certain that the planet was inhabited by primitive natives. His Afronauts, as he called the members of his future mission, were ready to embark on the journey. The team included a missionary, a teenage girl, and 2 cats. However, Nkoloso assured, "I have instructed the missionary not to force the Martians into Christianity if they do not wish to convert." Aside from Christianizing the Mars and sending a Zambian person, or a cat, to the moon, the program also aimed to transform Zambia into quote-unquote an empire controlling the 7 heavens and outer space. This would be achieved through a rigorous training regimen. Afronauts were placed in barrels and rolled down hills to simulate weightlessness. They were also strapped to swings that were cut loose at their highest point to prepare them for parachute landings. These exercises were meant to ready them for the ultimate test, launching aboard the Nkoloso, a spacecraft that was essentially an oil barrel catapulted into the sky. It'll probably come as a great surprise to everyone that Nkoloso's space program never actually took off. The main reason? A lack of funding. The visionary reportedly sought nearly $2 billion USD from UNESCO, the USA, the USSR, and even Israel. The final nail in the coffin was, however, the withdrawal of parental consent for Martha Mwamba's participation. Sources differ on whether this was due to concerns for her safety or her unexpected pregnancy. While Edward Nkoloso never became the African equivalent of Eisenhower, so basically the founder of NASA, his project certainly caught international media attention. Many foreign newspapers, including Time magazine, dedicated a few paragraphs to the amusing African puppets, yet another example proving that this continent simply cannot be taken seriously, right? Well, no. And maybe I'm needlessly turning a somewhat absurd and dorky story into a serious discussion, but the facts just don't add up, and I refuse to believe that anyone who truly examines the case in goodwill wouldn't ask themselves the same question. How is it possible that Nkoloso, a staunch opponent of Christianity and a supporter of traditional Zambian beliefs, suddenly woke up one day and decided to Christianize Mars? And not just that, he framed his plan in a distinctly post-colonial narrative of us, enlightened ones, civilizing them, the primitive Martians. So this contradiction becomes even more striking when you consider Nkoloso's background. He was a long-time and devoted freedom fighter for Zambia's independence. In one interview, when asked about the progress of his space mission, Nkoloso reportedly laughed and pointed to the 4 astronauts, saying, "For most Zambians, these people are just a bunch of lunatics, and based on what I saw today, I am inclined to agree." People who knew Nkoloso personally confirmed this. Kenneth Kaunda, Zambia's president from 1964 to 1991, remarked, "It wasn't serious, it was more for fun." So, was Edward Mukuka Nkoloso a complete lunatic, recklessly endangering the lives of a missionary, a teenage girl, 2 cats, and his country's reputation? Well, I don't think so. Was Nkoloso not a lunatic? Well, since I don't fancy playing devil's advocate, I'll say that not quite either. Nkoloso certainly seemed like a dork, but he was like his kind of dork, a dork with a vision. Some speculate that he may have lost his sanity during tortures while fighting the British colonizers for Zambia's independence, and that could explain not only his eccentric persona, but also his fiery anti-colonialism. Regardless of the truth, while Zambia still doesn't have a real space program, I sincerely hope that when the first Zambian, or Zambian cats, finally makes it to the moon or Mars, they'll get there in a far more comfortable situation than being catapulted in an oil barrel. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to not like, not subscribe, and definitely not hit the notification button, since I totally don't care. Except, I kinda do.